Oh, the Paldea region. A land filled with such remarkable splendor, it practically cries out, begging for millions of players to explore its every corner. Bursting at the seams with potential tasks, a dull moment feels almost unobtainable. Pokemon to catch, badges to collect, titans to lay siege to, and a syndicate of bullied teenage delinquents to disband. So much to do with so little time. What did I do with my time in the new Spain-inspired world? Well, if that's what you're wondering, this video should be of help. There is one that came before this if you want context of how we got here, but otherwise, let's get right into the 4th day of our Paldean adventures. To start off, it was time for Mega Man to evolve. All I needed to do was find a few Bronzors, since the trade for Charcadet's evolution item was 10 of their fragments. Now, this would have been easy if I had known where the Bronzors were, but instead, the first hour was spent looking in all the wrong places before I cracked, Googling their spawn locations for easy hunting. Believe me, I'm just as ashamed as you are, but Mega Man really needed that armor. Just look at him. Don't fall for his tricks though. He had me give some back alley dealer 20 bucks so he could get some special sauce. Still don't know what it was, but the point still stands. We made it back to Zapapico for the trade and immediately evolved our Fire Child. Oh, he's just evolving right away. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if I had to like level him up a little bit or what, but anyway, Mega Man is evolving. Yes! We finally have Mega Man! The name makes sense now, right? It was only minutes later that we started a multiplayer session with our special guest, Gabby, with one goal in mind. Evolve Echo. Because of course, Game Freak had to make a Pokemon evolve in only a multiplayer session. And of course, it had to be the one Pokemon that I so desperately needed. Either way, we did a few really easy Terra raids, and I found a normal Terra Torkoal that spammed Body Slam until it stunned and nearly killed Echo. But after all that, we were finally met with the evolution I had been waiting for. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. What is this? Seriously, I cannot believe that they would just add a heart onto this dolphin's chest and call it a day. It didn't even get a new typing. Forget what I said in the last video. This guy is garbage. Whoa. Hold up. What was that? And this ability? Maybe he's not so bad after all. After that whole fiasco, we disconnected and headed for Levincia to face the electric type gym. And this was when the internet decided to crap out on me, sending my bitrate into the pits of Tartarus, making the stream look like a 10-year-old's Minecraft Let's Play from 2012. And I can make that joke because I was said 10-year-old. And look how far we've come. I think I got a total of 10 subscribers on that channel before I deleted it, but I was proud of every last one. So, in honor of small child me hitting such a monumental milestone, you should subscribe to this channel. As you may know, bigger number equals better person, so work your magic and make me just like a really good person. I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure Small Skinny would too. Anyways, before entering Levincia's gym, we fought a few trainers on the nearby beach, one of them being Yago here, who can't seem to find his potential anywhere. I don't know who wrote some of this dialogue, but damn, sometimes it hits different. Now it was time for the gym. Right before the actual battle though, Hassel had a quick chat with us, introducing a new character, Rika, one of Paldea's Elite Four. I'm a really big fan of her design, so this is my message to Nintendo. Keep doing what you're doing with these characters. Thank you in advance. Regardless, now it was time for the most meta Pokemon experience ever, as Iono came out guns a-blazing with all of her hip, cool streamer talk. And yes, that sentence hurt just to write. The battle itself was quite trivial, as Bingus soloed her entire team, and with that, she gave us our 4th gym badge. Immediately following the fight, we swapped out Flapjack for War Maiden, the Tinkatuff, and our MVP Bingus for CeeLo, who we instantly touched with a large chunk of ice, making him grow bigger and angrier. Truly, when you think about it, the stone evolutions in Pokemon make no sense. But also, none of it makes sense, so I'm not gonna think too much into it. Whatever the case, our next goal was the Poison Crew Team Starbase, which did not take long to get to. The only interesting thing that happened along the way was that I got to see what Echo's hero form looked like in battle. And I'll tell ya, she is a beast. I never doubted you for a second, my sweet dolphin friend. When we got to the base, there was a small child attempting to force his way inside, past the grunt standing guard at the gates. This kid had some audacity too, because he proceeded to fight me right outside the base. Thankfully, I was immensely overleveled at this point, so he was nothing but a speed bump. After a quick call from Cassiopeia that really raised my suspicions of what their true identity was, it was time to raid the base. It was a fairly quick sweep through the grunts, but when I arrived at the fight with the leader, Atticus, it took a turn for the worse. The ninja-clad boss sent out a skun tank, rendering my plan to dominate with Mega Man alone unachievable. So I swapped in Echo to whittle its health a little bit, before swapping Mega Man back in to take it out with a flame charge. The rest was honestly a cakewalk, one-shotting his Revavroom and Muck, and only taking 3 hits with Psyshock to destroy his big car. An easy 3rd star badge. Next stop was Glaciato Mountain, making our way there the only way I know how. By going anywhere and everywhere but there for a bit before realizing that I'm streaming to real people with real lives and real responsibilities that don't involve watching me dick around. Oh, you didn't know I stream? Well, I do. Over on Twitch under the same name as this channel. I do a lot of Pokemon related stuff over there, so you should check it out if you've got a second. Live times are on screen right now, and there's a link in the description. Before you get too excited to go watch the big Pokemon streamer guy be amazing at these games, a quick spoiler alert. I'm not, as is apparent by this fight against Dragon Tamer Marta and her level 26 Appleton. All the dumb pie wanted to do was plant his seed and then take the next hour to recover, but I made sure there was no round 2 for this guy. We eventually made it to Glaciato, specifically the hole that we had fallen into in the last video. And who was waiting there but a beautiful Glamette? And I'm proud to say, I actually caught him this time. All it took was just a little bit of confidence and also a quick ball, and a new addition was made to our boxes. Immediately afterwards, I caught a Frigibax who I named Irithyll because Dark Souls, and he replaced CeeLo in the blink of an eye. An ice dragon type, there's only one other one in the entire series, and he's a legendary, so obviously I'm gonna add him to the team. After a bit of time spent scaling the mountain and picking up every item I saw on the ground, because my peanut brain can't stop itself, our newly obtained frozen frog evolved into an Arctibax. Okay, I'm liking this Evo line so far. Keep in mind, I didn't look up any of these new mons ahead of time, so this was all new to me. Which was why, to finish off the 4th day, we climbed to the very peak of the mountain and threw a handful of EXP candies at War Maiden so she could reach her final form, Tinkaton. I absolutely love this Pokemon. Like, her design is so adorably intimidating, and its Dex entry makes it so much better. These guys quite literally put the Corviknight taxi service from Galar out of business. I bet Hop is shivering in his boots right about now. Now that it was our 5th day of playing this game, it was time to face the Glaciato gym. Or not, I guess. Instead, I decided to walk off and try to take an artsy photo with a Bergmite, but apparently I'm a grandpa because I could not figure out how to work the camera. Eventually, my curiosity brought me down the path and through the nearby town of Montenevera, where I found a Magnemite that we ended up naming. Oh my god, that Magnemite was shiny. I literally did not notice that it was until this screen showed up. And better yet, after reviewing this footage, I noticed that during a trainer battle that had happened not moments before, you could see this little guy hanging out on the sidelines. Like, he was just waiting for me to catch him. I guess that's a shiny caught, so that's neat. Anyways, we ended up on the opposite side of the mountain to Glaciato after a bit of aimless wandering, but it was right back to the gym as soon as I realized how far away I was. To start off, the gym test was the easiest thing in the world, just a crappy Koraidon slalom with zero consequence. Personally, I prefer getting my shit kicked in a game of Snow Ride against a brutal Toadette in Mario Party 7, but I suppose this is a healthy alternative. The gym itself, regardless of it being the highest in level, was a clean sweep with Mega Man with the help of only a few Hyper Potions, giving us our 5th gym badge. Following that bout, I was challenged by none other than Pneumonia, ready to give me a battle to remember. We swept her. She wasn't even, like, we beat her, like, one hit, and she was gone. She's an absolute pushover. Gita gave us Terra Blast. It's pretty cool. We almost immediately set out for the Ghost-type gym in Montenevera since it was so close by, where we found our homeroom teacher, because I guess why not have him be here? I don't know. The Montenevera gym test began with us approaching Moist Critical Sledge, who made us warm up the audience by massacring a small child's pets in a 2-on-2 format. Apparently, that really hypes up a crowd. After our murderous rampage, Rhyme arrived at the stage, spitting some absolute flames before we challenged the MC of RIP to a proper battle. This fight was honestly more of a hassle than the last one. Not really difficult per se, but just a bit more involved. I led Irithyll and Bean, and she led Banette and Mimikyu. All it took was 2 bites and 2 Razor Leafs, and it was on to her next duo. Houndstone and Toxtricity, the latter of which terrestrialized into a ghost type, which I completely forgot was a thing because of my peanut brain, but it's whatever. Before Irithyll could get off a bite, he was taken out by a Hyper Voice Play Rough combo, so we switched in Echo, who went down to a discharge 2 turns later. Thankfully, this wasn't a Nuzlocke or anything, otherwise that would have been 2 really good Pokemon gone from our team forever. Also, we would have already lost the run 3 gyms ago, but that's besides the point. A Nuzlocke of this game could be fun though, honestly. Maybe Monotype to up the difficulty? Nah, that would be way too bugged out. Our sights were set on the 5th and final Titan, the False Dragon at Casaroya Lake. It was a quick and easy flight to the lake from the mountaintop, dropping in from great heights only to enter a battle against a level 50 Gimmighoul who dropped 50 coins as payment for his passing. Now, the cool thing about these coins is that when you get 999 of them, you get to change this into this. And turns out, I had 484 of them, so I was just shy of the halfway point. Don't worry, sweet prince, we shall be together soon. But, of course, our fun times were rudely interrupted by Arven giving us a call to let us know that this was where the Titan was. Why do you think I was here, Arven? To lollygag in the Veluza-ridden waters below? Clearly, it was for the Titan. Speaking of which, where is he? He's got to be around here somewhere. Was that hit? No. Surely it has to be Sushi Guy right here, right? Nope. Definitely not Sushi Guy. I sent out Irithyll for this one, and after a few Dragon Claws, our catfish friend retreated to his stash of Herba Mystica, powering himself up for a second round. Thankfully, though, Arven was there with his super helpful Greedent to assist in the defeat of the very false dragon. After a few turns, Arven's squirrel took out the fish with one last takedown, allowing us to get the Herba Mystica. We grabbed the herba, making a delicious sandwich out of it, which we fed to Koraidon, of course, and Arven had a sentimental moment with his Mastiff, blah blah blah, whatever.
Skinny, how dare you just brush off such a powerful moment between a boy and his sickly dog? You're really a heartless garbage human, you know that? Like, honestly.
Hey, I thought I got rid of you already. All in a day's work. More importantly, Professor Seda gave us a call, asking Arven to bring us to her lighthouse lab on Poco Path, which he reluctantly obliged to. But joke's on him, because it was time for another installment of Skinny's Aimless Adventures, your go-to show for all things pointless. On this episode, watch as our heroes wander the expansive world of Paldea and do absolutely nothing of significance. Going to the lighthouse sounds like it has a point to it. How about instead we just go fight this random chef in the woods and almost get swept by her terrestrial squid? But seriously, all we did for the rest of the stream was run around and catch Pokemon, fight some trainers, and make our way to Medali, home of the normal type gym. Before wrapping up for the day though, I force-fed Irithyll some EXP candies until he evolved into his final form, Baxcalibur, aka Godzilla's frozen cousin. And thanks to my childhood obsession with the kaiju, he has become a new favorite of mine. Speaking of favorites, the next gym leader has really seemed to tug on the heartstrings of many of this game's players. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Larry, the The most basic man you'll ever meet, but yet the most fascinating. His demeanor really speaks volumes toward Nintendo's seeming objection to the commonplace 9-to-5 office job. If it was just him, it would be one thing, but this was not the first or the last of the plethora of self-loathing corporate loyalists that are strewn about this game's world. That guy Yago from the beach outside of Levincia couldn't find his potential, all because of the inherently arduous and hierarchical disposition of your average corporate space. His work bore no progressive gratification, personally or otherwise. He felt useless in this cruel, money-hungry world, and all he wanted was to find purpose. But one can never truly find purpose within purposelessness. Also, the gym test for Medali is really dumb and really easy too. You're supposed to go around gathering information on what the local restaurant's special menu item is, piecing the order together from hints the other challengers have received that they are required to share with you following their defeat. Or you can just be a big brain genius like me and blindly guess the correct combination first try. Uh-oh. Now tell me, what will you be ordering? It's definitely grilled rice balls. And what serving will you be having? A medium serving. And how do you want that cooked? I want it extra crispy, fire blast style. Anything to garnish your order? Lemon, please. Medium serving, grilled rice balls, fire blast style with fresh lemon on the side? Gotcha. There's no way that was right. No f***ing shot, dude! What the f***? What? The battle with Larry was even easier, the only notable thing about it being the Dunsparce evolution that no one wanted. And now that we had our 7th gym badge, it was time to travel to one of the final Star Crew bases. Before we could depart, Rika showed up, introducing us to a child? It turns out, along with the introducer, the introducee, Poppy, was a member of Paldea's Elite Four. I think the status had already gotten to her head though, cause she had some pretty bold claims to make. We healed our team and off we hiked to the ferry crew base. Along the way, we came across a very ambitious young man, Ander, who claimed that Bergmite is the cutest Pokemon there is. Now, I love Bergie as much as the next guy, but I think Ander here was forgetful of a very, very special little fox. When we finally arrived at the base, Climb stopped by for an alarmingly brief chat before we parted ways, him going off somewhere and your boy opting for the usual do everything but the objective style of play that has plagued this entire playthrough, fighting a few trainers including Esther, another office worker complaining about her job. We also found ourselves closed in a cave by a gang of Doug Trio, plotting their next underground heist, I'm sure. When we got back to the base, the individual we had to face to gain entry was none other than the crew boss's piano instructor. And boy, do I hope that he's better at professing the ivories than he is at dueling monsters, cause his team was a clean sweep with War Maiden. The raid, much like the last few, was quite simple. Our posse cleaned up the Grunts Pokemon in a record time of 1 minute and 6 seconds, and Ortega, as stylish as he may be, was completely walled by War Maiden, KOing just about every one of his mons with a single flash cannon. After exiting the base, the usual call from Not Penny ensued, followed by Not Cassiopeia arriving to give us our goods, getting aggressively licked by Koraidon in the process. She reminded us that only one more crew was left standing, and so, to everyone's surprise, we set out for it immediately. The focus was very short-lived as we stumbled upon a tower that looked to be housing a family of Revavroom and several Varoom who just kept jumping off the edge to end their miserable, polluting lives. Not only that, but we also ran around this one area for what felt like hours, fighting the occasional trainer to offset the monotonous traversal of the rocky spires and subsequent valleys. Eventually, though, the gallivanting came to a close, finding our way to the marshy area where the base was located. The first fight to come out of this area was the one against Lola. She didn't prove too difficult, but it was the battle that followed that really put me in a tight spot. The battle for my freedom. For a tidy profit. God damn it, Arcanine. Or no, you're just a Growlithe. Never mind. Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. Jesus Christ, why are you level 51? Oh my good god, dude. Stop. Stop. Mega Man just leveled up. Oh my god. Guys, please. Please, guys, please. Run. I don't want to deal with any of you right now. Okay. I finally escaped. There wasn't much in the way of threats in this area, though. I did catch a ghost terror slacking who I named Rome, in memory of the infamous King Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule, of course. Finally, we approached the entrance to the fighting crew base, and oh hey, it's not Director Clavel! Oh, hey, it's Cassiopeia! Hey, sorry, can't talk right now. About to raid the calf squad if you don't mind. Bye. Oh, look, shiny! Yep, just before starting the raid, I got distracted again. Thankfully, it didn't last long, and now it was time to fight our way through the base. Both parts of the raid were fairly trivial, dicing through the grunts in a minute and a half, and annihilating Ares Toxicroak, Lucario, and Passimian before her fourth Mon just about annihilated me. Thank you. Yeah, no, oh, stop it, thank you. No, that's enough, really, seriously, stop it. Stop. Enough! Sorry. I'm calm. Following our success, Cassiopeia gave us one final call, revealing that they were the boss of Team Star all along. Oh my god! Who would have guessed it? Oh, I'm so unbelievably flabbergasted right about now. I can't even express it. They told us to meet them in the schoolyard after dark if we wish to learn of their true identity. That's a really weird drug deal, I gotta say. But you guessed it, I didn't do that. Instead, the map marker was set to the 8th and final gym in Alfornada. Wait, what was that? Did we battle the gym? No, silly. I got too distracted with pulling a bunch of multicolored stakes from the earth. You know, just your typical afternoon. After trekking about 90% of the way up the plateau, we decided to call it quits. But believe me, the last 3 days of this adventure were super interesting, so make sure you're subscribed to hear that invigorating tale. But until then, as always, have a good one, stay safe, and I'll see you around.